Beng or Meng? If you're also confused about whether to study a Bachelor of Engineering or a Integrated Masters of Engineering, don't you worry, this video is exactly for you. Hey, my name's Saga and I graduated from a Integrated Masters of Aerospace Engineering just this year, and now I'm working as a software engineer in London. And in this video, I'm just going to cover the differences between a Bachelor's of Engineering, so a BEng, and the Integrated Masters, so an MEng. And I'll also cover the benefits of each, so you can make a good decision of what to study at university. So let's start with the basics, and what is the real difference between the two? Well, they're just two separate degrees that you end up getting. So if you do the BEng, you're going to end up with a Bachelor's of Engineering. If you do an MEng, you're going to end up with a Master's of Engineering. The length of each course also varies. So if you do the BEng, that is 3 years at university, providing you don't do any other year in industries and whatnot. And the Master's of Engineering is 4 years, so it's just one more extra year. The BEng is cheaper than doing an MEng, and that's because you have to pay for 1 extra year when you're doing your MEng degree. And you don't have to pay a exponentially more amount for your MEng degree. In fact, it's like you're taking one of your years from your BEng degree and adding it on to an MEng. So at the university I studied at, the weightings of a BEng degree was like so. So your first year is not counted at all, and your final year, so your third year, is worth twice as much as your second year. So in essence, the weightings are 0, 1, and 2. For your Masters, however, this differs whether or not you did a study abroad year or if you just did all your Masters studies in Sheffield, or, well, in my case it was Sheffield. So if you did all your studies at your home university, or Sheffield in my case, then it would be 0, 1, 2, 2. But because I did a study abroad year, the weightings for the 4 years was 0, 1, 1, 2. So the last year for me was worth the same as the second and third year combined. Also, something that else was different was how you do your dissertation. So in my university, the people who were on the BEng course did their dissertation in their third year, whereas myself, who was on the MEng course, we did our dissertation in our final year, so our 4th year. And in fact, the dissertation, the percentage that it's worth for your final year is different. So for my year, it was around 40%. And I believe for the bachelor students, their dissertation was worth around 30% of their final year grade. However, this is not always the case. In fact, one of my friends who studied at a different university, their bachelor's and master's students both did their dissertation in their third year. So now we know what is the difference between an MEng and a BEng. But let's go into what are the actual benefits of doing one over the other. Starting off with the benefits of a integrated master's, is that you spend more time at university, so you're able to make the most of the resources available to you. And one of these main things are the ability to join student projects and work on really ambitious projects like that. And if you are a master's student, then you're going to be able to spend more time in these projects and even have more opportunities to get further involved. Something that may be common in other universities, but I know was definitely true at my university, is that you couldn't study abroad if you were doing a Bachelor's of Engineering. So if you do want to have a better experience whilst at university by doing awesome things like going on study abroad, then maybe doing an MEng is the best route for you. So once it comes to graduation, if you have done a MEng degree, it means you have a Master's in Engineering. And this provides you with a wider range of opportunities once you graduate. So for example, if you want to join the European Space Agency Young Graduate Trainee role, you do actually have to have a master's degree. If you prefer to stay in academia and want to pursue a PhD, then it's very common that a lot of the universities out there require you to have a master's degree before you can go into doing a PhD. So let's go on to the benefits of a BEng. So if you're doing a Bachelor's of Engineering, you're going to be only at university for 3 years rather than the 4 years, which means you don't have to pay that extra amount of tuition fees and perhaps even extra amount of student accommodation. Also, adding on to the fact that a BEng course is shorter than an MEng, you're going to be able to jump straight into industry 1 year ahead of master's students and be able to gain that industry experience that maybe the master's students don't actually have. So you might be slightly ahead of the game when it comes to working at a company. Also, doing a bachelor's degree means you have a higher probability of actually getting a first-class degree. Because if you think about it, if you're studying for 3 years only rather than 4 years, as long as you do well in the limited subjects you have to do for your bachelor's, then you're going to get a first class degree and you don't have to worry about doing another year and the final year actually bringing your grade down. So if you want to try and even more so guarantee the fact you're going to get a first class degree, I recommend doing a bachelor's. If you do, however, want to do a master's after your bachelor's degree, then doing a BEng is great because you're able to then have the pick of where you want to study after that, so you don't have to stay at your own university where you did your bachelor's degree. And this gives you the flexibility to even choose a better university to do your master's at. One caveat I do have to say about that last tip about going to do your master's elsewhere is that you're likely to be doing a MSc, which is considerably more expensive than doing another extra year on top of your BEng to make an MEng. And also you're going to have to apply again to university, so you're going to have to do all that admission process again. So that is the downside to doing a master's after the BEng somewhere else. So there we have it. That's like an overview of the differences between a BEng and an MEng. So if you are considering going into engineering, now you know which route is the best for you. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll hopefully answer them. And I'll see you in another video. Thanks a lot, guys. And also hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also check out this other video here, which covers the syllabus that I did for my aerospace engineering degree, so you can see what subjects I did for the bachelor's section of my degree and the master's section of the degree. See you around.